10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good. Roll under here. Roll under the bed.
Slide over here. Slide over here. You drop on the shots like this. You go here. Here. Here.
If I get him where I need him to be, he's gonna sleep for sure. Soften him up, then fry him.
Floyd Mayweather has reportedly reconnected with Gervonta Tank Davis for an intense training session as preparations ramp up for Davis's much-hyped showdown with Jake Paul. Despite their rocky history, Mayweather appears determined to guide his former protege and help him stay sharp under the spotlight.
Fans, the real ones that know that this is no easy fight. He's very skilled, and I'm going to go on the line and say this may be the most skillful person that Tank has faced thus far.
I just don't want to look bad come fight night. My biggest fear has been embarrassed, especially in front of like all these people, like worldwide. Then you be like, come this mean for deck, like, you know, like I ain't got time for that. I'm not trying to go out getting my butt kicked.
Many fans believe Mayweather's return to Tank's corner could make a real difference, bringing championship-level insight against an unpredictable opponent like Jake Paul. Their reunion has reignited buzz across the boxing world, with many now viewing the fight as far more serious and far more dangerous than originally expected.
They just want things right now. They want to see nothing but excitement. They want to be entertained. They don't want to pay a lot of money to come to a fight to watch two guys just jab, grab.
Gervonta Tank Davis has built his name on intensity, pushing himself to the limit every time he steps into camp. This preparation is no exception. Recent footage and insider reports show him laser-focused on refining his speed, precision, and knockout power. Coaches describe him as sharper than ever, moving with urgency but total control, his punches snapping with purpose. His footwork has taken another leap, allowing him to glide effortlessly around the ring, light on his feet but heavy with intent. Every drill, from timing and reaction work to defensive angles, reflects the same message: perfection only. This fight demands the absolute best version of Tank Davis, and he knows it. His mindset hasn't changed. Stay ready, stay hungry, and stay dangerous. Leonard Ellerby has made it clear, no one in the sport delivers like Gervonta Tank Davis. He believes Tank's appeal goes far beyond wins and titles. Fans pack arenas and flood pay-per-view screens because when Tank fights, it's not just competition, it's spectacle. Ellerby says the audience doesn't show up for routine rounds or cautious sparring. They come for drama, danger, and the kind of knockouts that light up social media for weeks. Tank doesn't just finish opponents, he creates moments. His fights blend precision, power, and pure showmanship, reminding everyone why he's one of boxing's biggest attractions. And with the Jake Paul fight on the horizon, a matchup stirring plenty of controversy and curiosity, Tank sees another chance to prove why he's the most electrifying fighter of his generation.
They just want things right now. They want to see nothing but excitement. They want to be entertained. They don't want to pay a lot of money to come to a fight to watch two guys just jab, grab. Again, that's why Tank Davis is the most exciting fighter in the entire world, because he gives the fans exactly what they want.
And speaking of familiarity, you mentioned that earlier. This is somewhat of a familiar foe in Oscar De La Hoya via Ryan Garcia, Floyd Mayweather, Tank Davis. There's some old connotations there. How much is Mayweather Promotions and PBC looking to deal a blow to the Golden Boy brand by knocking out their stalwart in Ryan Garcia?
Oh, that's happening. And then again, it's always good. You know, it's great. It'll be great for Tank.
Paulie Malignaggi has voiced strong concerns about where boxing is heading. In his view, the upcoming clash between Gervonta Tank Davis and Jake Paul feels more like a spectacle than a sporting contest. He warns that a sport built on legacy, discipline, and fair competition risks turning into something that resembles entertainment theater, where fame begins to outweigh skill. Malignaggi argues that when victories aren't earned against genuine equals, even the most dramatic knockouts lose their meaning. Casual fans might enjoy the show, but for purists, it's a troubling sign. Speaking with Chris Algieri, he emphasized that one-sided or novelty matchups do more harm than good, urging the sport to return its focus to true elite-level competition, the kind that built boxing's soul in the first place.
Knockouts, dude. Knockouts. People like knockouts. They don't care if you're knocking out cab drivers. Look at Jake Paul's career.
You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture that, though. You can manufacture
knockouts. You can't manufacture.
To a degree, you can. To a degree. I mean, you can't. Yeah, Gervonta legitimately cannot get knockouts. I agree. He can punch, but there's a lot of limited knockout artists, though, man.
He's one of the least active punchers in the game with the highest knockout percentage of current heavyweight.
But if he was a real knockout artist,
current champions.
If he was a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best of the best. Felix Trinidad was a knockout artist. He was knocking out the best of the best. If you're a real knockout artist, prop him up against the best and show us how he smokes them. But the way we did when Felix Trinidad was doing it. You know? The way they did when Mike Tyson was doing it in his prime. Say what you want about the Mike Tyson era. He knocked out everyone from 1986 to 1989. Everyone got knocked out. Everyone.
Well, by your standard, you could say that Tyson was, to a degree, manufactured.
No, because he fought everyone that was there. Everyone that was there at that time he fought.
Teddy Atlas will 100% agree with this.
With the expense of
Witherspoon. We're afraid of him.
With the exception of Witherspoon. No, but they all, doesn't matter. He knocked them all out. There was nobody you could say in that era except maybe Witherspoon, who had contract issues with King at the time. Except for Witherspoon, there is nobody Tyson didn't fight in that era. He knocked them all out. You can't say like, oh, but if he would have fought that guy, I don't know. No, with Davis, there's guys right now that have been hanging around for years. Yo, dude, when are you going to fight them? The lightweight division was stacked with talent. Even at 130, it had a lot of talent when he was there. Didn't fight almost any of them. So it's not the same thing as the Tyson era. You want to say anything about Tyson era? Fine. It wasn't as high level or something. He still knocked out everyone. There was nobody there in that era that you could say Tyson didn't fight.
Didn't say it was related. It was the same as the Tyson era. Didn't say it at all. I was actually going to say the opposite when you talk about Trinidad.
Floyd Mayweather's presence in boxing remains unmatched, and the rumors surrounding him say plenty. Many analysts believe his recent talk of a potential showdown with Tyson is more than just curiosity. It's a statement that Floyd refuses to fade quietly into retirement. Even now, he thrives on attention, competition, and control over his own legacy at this stage. It's not just about money, it's about maintaining his place in the sports narrative. Sharing headlines with Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul may have reignited that familiar spark, reminding the world that when Floyd Mayweather speaks, boxing still listens. Whether the Tyson chatter turns into reality or not, one thing is certain. Mayweather intends for the spotlight to keep revolving around him.
Many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about what is going to happen in that fight.
Eddie Hearn has been outspoken about the fine line between entertainment and authenticity in boxing. While he acknowledges that spectacle has its place, he warns that it should never become the foundation of matchmaking. In his eyes, if social media fame starts dictating who earns top-level fights, the sport risks losing its credibility. Hearn views the Tank Davis vs. Jake Paul showdown as a crossover event, great for ratings and fan engagement, but questionable in terms of sporting integrity. He insists that competition, not celebrity, must remain boxing's backbone. If hype continues to outweigh rankings, future generations could grow up mistaking viral moments for world-class boxing. His stance is clear: boxing must protect its identity, not trade it for clicks and headlines.
To a global business with investment and potential floats, and it's been a great challenge.
Away from that, obviously the DAZN deal is up next year. Are those talks underway to extend, or are you looking elsewhere? What can you tell me?
Yeah, no, they are. I mean, we're very happy with DAZN. I think what they've enabled us to do is to really have the global ambition and global strategy that I wanted, and that was really a big part of my mindset moving forward in boxing. We know there's a lot of other platforms out there that might have had broadcast deals end, that would be looking to replace those people, and we are very well respected in the space. I don't think it would be difficult for us to walk into another broadcast deal, but we're very happy with DAZN as partners. And as I said, the strategic element of that, I mean, when we talk about, the power list and stuff like that, we have international deals with DAZN in multiple markets, and obviously particularly the US market, which makes us unique as a business. And I actually believe that DAZN are in a fantastic place, particularly in the US market right now. And we are in deep talks to extend that relationship, and we're very happy with our broadcast partner.
Eddie, just whilst I've got you, obviously just a few things I'd like an update on. Last time we spoke, Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul seemed to be the front runner for you guys. Now we're getting Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. What can you tell me about that? What can you tell me about why Jake and Anthony has maybe been put to the side for now?
Yeah, they always told us that it was, we were looking at that fight for February of next year, and they always said that there was a chance that Jake would fight in November. I think, wasn't I the one that broke Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis 6 months ago or something? I knew that they'd agree that deal. I didn't know they were about to announce it then. But I did know that they'd agreed that deal previously. So I don't like it, if I'm honest. I mean, I think we need to really differentiate between boxing and an entertainment concept, and that's what that is. It's a freak show, it's entertainment, it's a lightweight fighting a cruiserweight, with, I don't know, is it bigger gloves and certain minutes per round? I don't know what it is, but I understand the market, and I understand this freak show shock kind of the world mentality of people potentially tuning in. Is that a step too far? Maybe. I mean, I hated Jake Paul against Mike Tyson, but it did massive numbers. I hate Jake Paul against Gervonta Davis. It'll probably do massive numbers. So that's when you really have to differentiate yourself between, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it isn't going to do good business. Now, whether you want to be involved with it is another kettle of fish. I don't want to be involved with it, but I do respect the fact that it's going to do big numbers. It's just not boxing. And I don't think we should promote it as boxing.
In the meantime, then, Eddie, where does that leave you with Anthony Joshua? Are you exploring other options for the end of this year, or are you still looking at that fight for the beginning?
Yeah, no, we're not interested in the Jake Paul fight right now. After that, I mean,
The Wade Concept host broke down the psychological game behind Jake Paul's every move. Jake isn't just a fighter. He's a calculated strategist who understands how to blend business, attention, and pressure into one formula. By flaunting his lifestyle and promising massive paydays, he's learned to turn criticism into opportunity. For Gervonta Davis, a fighter who thrives on silencing doubters, Jake's bold talk and constant challenges acted as the perfect lure. And that's exactly how Jake's strategy succeeds. He transforms negativity into leverage, using every viral moment to pull the biggest names into his orbit. In the end, the mental chess match is just as crucial as the physical fight. Jake's not just selling bouts, he's manipulating narratives, and that's what keeps him relevant in the sport's most exclusive circles.
Do it, but also and again, Jake's only been boxing for 5, 6, 7 years now. It isn't necessarily far-fetched to try to have his own advantages when trying to fight other boxers that have been far more experienced than him. But this one's a little too much, right? This one is crazy because of the massive weight difference. It doesn't make a ton of sense. But again, as far as a sport fight is concerned, I want to make sure I make that clear. Again, this is not me hating on it, because I do think that both guys have been very upfront with what they're doing in this fight and what their goals are with these kind of events. But the narrative Jake's trying to create as if this is like proving anything for him fighting a real fighter when Gervonta is so much smaller than he is. It'll prove something in the fact that Jake is willing to put on great events, but it won't prove anything to the people that are asking him to fight a real fighter. I will say though, if Jake goes out and flatlines Gervonta, the casual audience that will say Gervonta smokes Jake completely and utterly, like it wouldn't even be close, that will change their minds a little bit. Not the people that know boxing, but the people that are going to watch this, the casual viewer that know the name Gervonta Davis and know the name Jake Paul. If he is to compete with Gervonta at all or look good in that fight, people will in some way accept that. Or they'll do the other thing where they just say the fight's rigged, which has never been the case, but you get what I'm saying. What Jake is doing is trying to convince a casual audience that he belongs in the ring with bigger names. If he's able to hurt Gervonta at all, that might actually do it.
The undefeated lightweight champion of the world, with a record of 30-0, 28 knockouts. And this one is over!
The brick
He's been
hand.
boxing since he was 5 years old and turned pro when he was 18.
Showbiz argues that boiling Tank's motivation down to money alone misses the bigger picture. Yes, the numbers are massive, but for Gervonta Davis, it's also about pride and legacy. The rumored knockout bonus only adds fuel to the fire, ensuring one thing: Tank won't play it safe. When a fighter of his caliber knows that ending the fight early brings both reward and respect, the energy changes. Every punch becomes personal. Every round turns into a hunt. This isn't just another payday, it's a chance to make a statement. For Tank, losing isn't even on the table. With pride, reputation, and highlight reel glory on the line.
You guys told me that Gervonta Tank Davis is just taking this fight for a payday. He's just trying to get to the bag. Well, you got the fight itself, which is a payday, and you got a KO bonus on top of that, a big bonus. That's what Jake Paul said.
They're gonna get a big bonus.
And they got a side bet of $2 million. Let's make it 2.
Y'all gonna shake on it? Yeah. Shake on it?
Shake on it.
$2 million. 2 mil? 2 mil? 2 mil. Let's do
2
it.
mil.
Go get a shake.
Oh, they're shaking left ear.
2 mil. There we go.
Oh my fuck.
Why not get the entire bag?
Analysts aren't sugarcoating Jake Paul's uphill battle. Gervonta Tank Davis has developed what many call a sixth sense inside the ring, the ability to read reactions, anticipate mistakes, and exploit openings with surgical precision. Jake's power is undeniable, but facing someone with Tank's reflexes and timing is an entirely different experience than any opponent he's faced before. Experts predict that once Tank settles into range and finds his rhythm, Jake will encounter a level of speed, accuracy, and impact that can't be replicated in sparring. Jake's confidence is bold, but Tank's experience is something else entirely. And with one perfectly placed shot, the fight could end in an instant.
Tank Davis look crazy, bro. Chilaquiles. Gervonta Tank Davis hitting a heavy bag in preparation for his Jake Paul fight November 14th down there in Florida. Man looks absolutely amazing. Man looks like a monster. Man looks like precision. Jake Paul cannot take those body shots. You mean to tell me somebody who done fought UFC fighters and a man with Parkinson's disease can take a body punch from Gervonta Tank Davis, and y'all basing y'all logic just because Jake Paul is big? No, Tank's gonna go ahead and put this man to sleep. I'm telling telling y'all that right now. If Tank don't put this man to sleep, he done let the black community down, he done let boxing down, and he ain't never been that nice. You Tank fans, y'all trying to give him a pass. If y'all said Tank is as skilled as y'all say he is, if he does not put Jake Paul to sleep and stop Jake Paul, his boxing career is absolutely voided. He already don't care about legacy, and just imagine he don't knock out Jake Paul, and now y'all gonna say it's not a real fight, it's an exhibition. No, we not giving no passes, bro. This Gervonta Tank Davis, he needs to put Jake Paul to sleep. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, Jake Paul too big. No, Jake Paul chin ain't never been tested by somebody that hit as hard as Gervonta Tank Davis. Tank should put this man to sleep with ease. I'll say that respectfully. If you don't put him to sleep,
a 2-pack of ass. That shit stinks.
That's a 2-pack of ass at the highest level, and it's a musty energy at the highest level. Get it together. Get it together. Tank looks amazing. That's the Chilla Killer.
Chilla Killers. Chilla Killers.
Bernie Thaw Boxer doesn't mince words when it comes to this matchup. He laughs at fans celebrating Gervonta Davis for simply landing another massive payday, insisting they're missing the real point. Tank's already a multimillionaire. The money isn't the story anymore. What audiences truly crave, Bernie argues, is a fight that makes them feel something. Boxing survives on danger, drama, and uncertainty, the kind of matchups where either man could win. Fans don't tune in for financial milestones. They tune in for greatness.